team, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and Angela's still asleep. We are 1 day away from starting our 3-week adventure riding from our home here in Norfolk, Virginia, or Norfolk as the locals call it. From here down the Atlantic coast to the bottom of Florida, across out to the Florida Keys, back in up the Gulf Coast of Florida, up to Atlanta, and then across and back to Norfolk.
So as we go on the trip, we've got a few goals that we've got in mind here. The first of which, of course, is to enjoy the trip and to just have a nice relaxing 3 weeks in preparation for the move that we've got coming up. We're moving from Norfolk here back home to Victoria, British Columbia. That'll be our staging point for our big round the world trip. So we've got a few weeks before that happens. We're about 95 days, I think, before the move occurs. So in the meantime, we're just going to relax and enjoy the fact that we can head down to Florida for a little bit and see some sights. But we've got some other goals set for the trip, and the goals include there we go, missed it. The goals include testing out a new top box that we got. We've got a large top box from Touratech, far larger than most people think is reasonable. We'll show you that in a future video and discuss some of the reasons why I chose to get that top box. We got some new panniers from Lone Rider that we're going to test out, see how they work out, and we'll show you those in a future video as well. One of the other things we're going to do is test out our navigation, in terms of how we do navigation. And then we've got a few other little farkles and upgrades to the bikes that we're going to test out. We'll feature those each day as they become relevant. We've got new cooking gear for camping. We used to have the I believe it was the MSR set with a couple pots and bowls and cups and so forth, and it was an awesome set. It worked really well for us, but in the end I found it to be just too bulky. It took up a lot of room, relatively speaking, so we switched over to some new gear, and we'll feature that in a future video so you can see what we're using for cooking and eating. We're going to try camping. We've done camping before, and you may have seen the review that we did on the Vooz Moto tent, but that was drive to destination set up for several days camping. This is going to be a set up and tear down, move to a new location every day kind of camping, and we want to see if that is a style that works for us, and whether or not we like that, or whether or not we are going to opt for commercial accommodations. Now, we've heard from many people who've done some traveling and who've told us that commercial accommodations are cheap in many parts of the world, and we don't doubt that, and it's likely we'll take advantage of that as well. But we want to see whether or not the camping option works for us, so we know whether or not we can include that in our planning process. So one other key item that we're going to trial is our new 2018 Honda CRF 250L Rally. We want to take this guy out and put him up against our Suzuki V-Strom. Angela just sold her other V-Strom, and so we've got one V-Strom and one CRF, and we want to see if the CRF is going to cut the mustard, as it were. We had our hearts set on moving to the Yamaha Tenere 700. In fact, we've got a deposit down on two of them. We put that deposit down last October. But then we discovered a couple of riders out there. One is Nirali. She goes under the moniker Itchy Boots. Moniker Itchy Boots. And the other one is Henriette, and she goes under For the Love of Wheels. And both Angela and I have been following these two ladies with their round the world adventures on much smaller bikes, and they seem to be having great success. So we're going to take ours out and give it a try. At least that's the plan. One challenge back in December, we ordered upgraded suspension for it, and unfortunately the upgraded suspension still hasn't arrived. That's not entirely true. The upgraded suspension did arrive for the front end. Suspension arrived for the back end. Turned out it was the wrong suspension, and so we had to send it back, and they assured us it would be here in time. It's not. FedEx company that's delivering it. A guy stopped by yesterday at our house and told us he couldn't find the package, so he was going to go take another look in the depot. And so we're really kind of hoping that the package is going to show up today. Otherwise, we're going to have a tough time leaving on our trip tomorrow, because our bike is still in pieces in the garage. All right, so that's it for now. I invite you to stick with us. Watch our videos and you can see how our trip goes. We'll give you some evaluation as to how our various trials go, and all the sights and things that we see as we roll. Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow.